Hi folks, this is Mr. Ege and we're going to focus on a video lesson using Revit, the Gherkin Tower design, and it's a complicated design and it's a good idea to take a look at the anatomy of one of the modern, contemporary modern architecture, as well as the techniques how to create a model of this solid model of this complex shape and a proportional aesthetic and at the same time complex shape using Revit. So I suggest you start your Revit and select the architectural template from the beginning, and I suggest you to as soon as you start everything, please save it first of all, and with the save as and to the proper location. That's OneDrive for most of my students, for me somewhere else. And once you do that, okay, accomplish that, we can continue with the first step. The first step is creating a reference plane, actually two reference planes, one vertical, one horizontal, and that's going to be gives you an option to create elevations, south and north, east and south elevations. So on the top right hand corner, I choose reference plane and click one vertical reference plane, and as soon as you create the first one, it's going to ask you to name it. Double click inside the click to name, and then this one is going to be east face. I'm going to call it east face for short. Enter. And the second one is going to be from left to right, second reference plane, and I'm going to name this north face. Or we can call it north face or south face. Either way is important, fine, and we can use each one of them. Okay. Enter key, save as usual, and automatically when you save it first time around, it gives you an option to saving every single time the same location. All right. Okay, so once we accomplish this, perhaps we need to go to elevations and select the north elevation. Okay, I'm suggesting you choose a floor line like that, and you have to make a decision at this point. Second floor line. This is the second level line, and I double clicked at the north elevation. Okay, and it's 10 feet because this is going to be commercial building, a high-rise building. I am suggesting to use 20 feet high floor height. Okay, and also those floors has to be duplicated. There are too many copy paste, too many floors that we want 45 copies made, 44 copies made, and we're going to use array command. Okay, and you click on the array command from the ribbon, click on it. Okay, it's going to ask you the number of the floors, and that's 44. It's going to give you a chance to click on the line that you want to copy, which is second floor, as far as 20 feet, and click again, and multiple copies, 44 copies are created automatically. Okay, so there's a little bit more to do at this point. So please choose all the way the floors above 40 floor and to the left, from right point to the left, and then erase those 4 floors. Okay, so you have 48th floor and you have the 45th floor left, and change the number 45 to 44 because the last floor became 41st floors. Change it to 40, level 45 to level 41. Enter. Okay. 880 feet. That's about the right size for the entire tower. This is a Gherkin Tower. It's a high-rise building. Okay. What else do we need to do? All those towers are created, but levels are still plans. Floor plans are not still there. Okay. So how do we do? How do we add the floor plans? Um, I suggest you to go to View command and add all those views. Plan views. Okay, let's go to plan views. Okay, floor plans. Okay, we want to add those views to the floor plan. So you click on that. Okay, and it gives you a long list of uh, all the way the third level to the first. So I suggest you press Shift button. Level third, this has been already selected, and while pressing the Shift button, click on the level 41, and then OK button. And all of a sudden, okay, you're going to find yourself on the level 41. On the right hand side, the floor plans are added on top of the level 2. You already have a level 1 and 2, all the floor. So this way, all of the floors has been added properly. Okay. Level 1 is still accessible, and I click on the north level already. Okay. And here, we want to also move your cursor to massing and site. Okay. We want to create in-place mass. It's very important, in-place mass. And it's going to be mass number 1. And okay, we're creating a mass solid. This is the first step to create the mass solid. After adding those floors and the floor plans on the project browser. And computer will ask you the name of it, and you accept whatever name is, or you rename it. It's totally up to you. And after accomplishing every step, please save your design. Okay. And we need to draw a center line at the very center. So I'm going to move your cursor and select the line command. Okay. And new work plane, and just click on the name. A new work plane, you're going to find out the new work plane north faced. Okay. And OK it. Move your cursor over the center of the top floor. Click. And all the way down, click. And enter key. All right. So the center line has been created. All right. Now I need to create a profile. All right. And if you go on, I'm not going to be too specific about the dimensions in this case, because I want you to learn the procedure. It's a complicated procedure, and I don't want to make it any more complicated than it is. So the dimensions later on can be modified later on, or can be done by your own choice. But I want you to see the procedure, how easy it is actually to generate this beautiful proportional uh, aesthetic shape. The design, aesthetics of the design is really more important. Procedure is really more important. So I suggest you move your cursor. After you draw the center line, move your cursor over the top left-hand corner. There's a spline through points. There are two kinds of splines. Do not choose the first spline. Choose spline through points. Click on it. And you are going to be focusing on starting from the first floor, ground floor, not the first floor, ground floor. But move a little bit outside of the ground floor level. And you are moving your cursor slightly outside to the left a little bit, approximately 1/3 of the floors. Click. Now you're moving your cursor as perpendicular as possible. Again, another 1/3. Finally, you're moving your cursor. Do not touch the center line. Move a little bit outside and click. Okay. And enter. Okay. And the line is created, as you can see. The those control points here you see can be controlled if you double click on it, can be moved to the left or right. They can be moved up and down. If you don't like it, the way they look, the arc looks, you can modify this by double clicking the control points, like the way I'm demonstrating right now. Okay. And I'm lucky that it came out right in the first time so far. Okay. So what am I going to do? I'm going to revolve these two lines, but I have to select both of them. So I'm picking a point on the right-hand side with my cursor, pressing the left mouse button, dragging to the left, and letting go. So this way I selected these two lines, okay? The center line and the arc line, okay? And having there selected, I'm moving my cursor, and instantly my ribbon changes. There's a create form, okay? When you click on it, down arrow, it gives you two options, solid form, void form. Void form is for holes to create. If you want to create a hole, you can do that. I'm selecting solid form. Click on it and be patient. Okay. And it generates a solid model for me. However, it also gives me two options at the bottom. I would choose the option on the one on the left. Click on it. Okay. I'm not going to finish the mess. It gives you a chance to finish the chess, but do not. All right. And at this point, what I like to do, I want to change my view. So if I go to view command and choose default 3D view, click on it. Okay. Then I get to see the three-dimensional view of the shape that I created. All right. So if I move my cursor over and the line, it chooses the first half. I click on it. Okay, then I'm moving my cursor over, pressing the shift button. Second half, I selected the second half. Control button, not, okay. Now the two of them has been selected. Now I am moving my cursor over, divide the surface command right next to the create form. Click on it. The surface instantly has been divided, okay, into a rectangular grid. However, on the left side, okay, the pattern, there's a pattern properties browser. There's a pattern option. Click on the down arrow. Look at the pattern options. I'm choosing something called triangular bent. Triangular flat triangle bent. Click on that, and it instantly changes the flat pattern. Now you're in the right track right now, so I'm going to select the save button. Click on that. Okay. All right. If you are, I'm going to just move back to view. I'm going to just default 3D. Okay. And if you have done up to this point, okay, um, we're going to move on the next step on the second video. I want you to, if you have if you have problems, call me. Let me help you. Try to help you inside the class. Okay. And thank you very much for your patience up to this point. And the next video will demonstrate what we're going to do next. How to improve the final form of the solid model. Right now we are at the point of the solid model, and we want to generate a three-dimensional model on the existing pattern. And thank you for your time.